The House will come to order. This morning, before the pledge, we're going to hear from St. Martin's Chamber Choir. Who's going to sing? Young Voices of Colorado. Thank you. That was beautiful, thank you. This morning, the pledge will be said by Eleanor Coates from McAuliffe Emmanuel Middle School in Denver, Colorado.
Please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Randall, please call the roll.
Representatives Arndt, Baisley, Beckman, Benavides,
That's okay. Excused.
Well, thank you very much.
Bird,
And I'll see you.
Bockenfeld, Buck, Buckner, Puenteo, Caravale, Carver, Catlin. Representative Benavides is present. Coleman, Cutter, Duran, Escar, Exum,
Excused.
Froelich, Galindo, Garnett, Geithner, Gonzalez Gutierrez, Gray, Hanson, Herod. Oh, thank you. Putin, Humphrey, Jackson, Marquez Lewis, Kennedy, Kipp, Kraft-Tharp, Landgraf, Larson, Lewis, Liston, Montine, McCluskey, excused, McKean, McLaughlin, Melton. Michelson Janae. Michelson Janae.
Excused.
Mollica. Neville. Pelton. Where's Pelton? Ransom. Rich. Roberts. Sane. Sane.
Excused.
Sandridge. Singer.
Excused.
Sirota. Snyder. Soper. Soper. Sorry. Sullivan. Tipper. Titone. Valdez A. Valdez D.
Good morning, Colorado.
Van Winkle. Weissman. Representative Sane is present. Williams.
So you're going to do it in a second,
Wilson.
but after.
Madam Speaker.
Here. With 58 present, 6 excused, and 1 vacant, we have a quorum. Representative Cutter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the reading of the Journal of Monday, February 4th, 2019 be dispensed with and approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no.
That was mean.
The motion passes. Announcements and introductions. Representative Gray.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. A couple of announcements. First off, Transportation and Local Government. We'll be meeting upon adjournment today to hear House Bill 1018 for action only with Rep. Bockenfeld and to welcome Representatives McLaughlin and Sane for Senate Bill 18. I would also note for you all that the Colorado Association of Realtors is going to be in and around the area the next couple of days. They have a reception this evening from 4:15 to 6 at the Brown Palace, and lunch tomorrow from 11:45 to 1. And you're all welcome. They'd love to have you there. Thanks.
Representative Buckner.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good morning. Today we are joined by March of Dime volunteers here to advocate for healthy moms and strong babies. I invite you all to welcome these dedicated volunteers and meet with them in the lobby to hear their stories and learn about their passion for maternal and infant health. From fighting polio in the 40s to premature birth today, March of Dimes remains dedicated to addressing and preventing issues that threaten our children. Thanks, March of Dimes, for being here today.
Representative McLaughlin.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Education. We are meeting today. We are first going to hear House Bill 1053, and then we will listen to 1110. I hope you will be there to vote. And tomorrow is joint education, 7:30 in the Old State Library. We are getting an update from the State Board of Education, and we would love to see you there. Thank you very much.
Representative Beckman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just a reminder that the Senior Caucus will be meeting tomorrow at, I know it's early, but it's going to be a great meeting, at 7:30 in House Committee Room 107. Tomorrow we're going to look at an update on how we can support older Coloradans and really dig into the Strategic Action Planning Group on Aging. Well, I know that we all have a lot of seniors in our district. This is a great caucus. We have a lot of stakeholders from throughout the state, and I'd love for you to join us at 7:30 tomorrow morning, room 107. Thank you.
Representative Weissman.
Thank you, and good morning, Madam Speaker. Reminder for judiciary members, we have 2 bills on our calendar today. Senate Bill 27 by Rep. Valdez, also House Bill 1130 by Reps. Liston and Hooten, 130, usual room, 112. Thank you.
Representative Catlin.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's an honor to serve with you.
It is an honor to serve with you, Representative.
Thank you very much. Members, if I could have your attention. Members, today I'm announcing that we're going to have a rural caucus meeting tomorrow. For those of you who are not familiar with that, it's also known as the Raucous Caucus. So if you get a chance, I'd like you to come by down at Capitol at room 109. This is an opportunity to talk about rural issues and how we interface with one another, suburbia, rural, urban. It's not just, you don't have to be a cowboy to come, you don't have to be a roper to come. It's an opportunity for us to get together. What I would like to do is invite everyone. We'll introduce ourselves to each other, what districts we're from, what our issues are, and we'll also have some people there that help us with some of these bills. If you have an opportunity, it's between 11:30 tomorrow and 1 p.m. They've been good meetings in the past, and we're hoping to make this a bigger thing through this session. So if you don't have a place to be between 11:30 and 1 o'clock, you can come and go as you'd like. But we'd really like to invite you to come. This could be a great opportunity for us to start understanding the difference between rural and urban, and we're really not that much different. We need to know each other's issues. Please, come be our guest. Thank you.
Representative Landgraf.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, February 11th is the first Veterans Caucus. So last year we got a little off track. We're getting back on track. We will be meeting in room 112 downstairs, and you have to RSVP by February 7th if you want a lunch. Lunch will only be available for legislators. The topic is going to be Veterans Courts, and it's going to be an interesting topic. So February 11th from 11:30 to 1300 in room 112.
Representative Liston.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I want to bring a reception to you. I know that our time is called upon and we're tugged and pulled from many directions, but I wanted to emphasize to everybody here in the chamber that the Colorado Retail Council this afternoon, it's Tuesday this afternoon, February the 5th, from roughly 5:15 to 7-ish, that you all are invited to come down to the University Club and get to know the Colorado Retail Council. So you're all invited. You can bring an aide if you like and so forth. So that's just right up the street at the University Club. You're invited to the Colorado Retail Council reception this afternoon. There'll be hors d'oeuvres, and these are some of our state's largest employers. They would love to meet with you, so please attend, pay attention. There's going to be a drawing for $10,000. See if anybody's paying attention. Okay, so see, some people are paying. Not really. So this afternoon, 5:30 at the University Club. Thank you.
Representative Caraveo? No, Lontine.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Health Insurance Committee members, just wanted to announce we are meeting today upon adjournment to hear Senate Bill 21 and House Bill 1105. We'll see you in room 107.
Representative Buckner.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I made this announcement earlier, but the representatives and volunteers from March of Dimes have come into the chamber, and I want to make sure they're acknowledged. So could you please give a round of applause to those volunteers? Could you stand, ladies?
I have one announcement. Representative Landgraf will substitute for Representative Ransom in education today only. Is that correct? Okay, all right. Representative Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members of the State Veterans and Military Affairs Committee, we're meeting this afternoon at 1:30 over in LSBA to hear two bills, Senate Bill 29 and House Bill 1112.
Majority Leader Garnett. And Representative Caraveo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I rise today to ask you to join me in a tribute for the Scientific and Cultural Facilities District. And I'm going to ask Mr. Randall to read the tribute, please.
The House of Representatives convene in the 72nd General Assembly hereby extends sincere commendations to the Scientific and Cultural Facilities District. The members of the Colorado House of Representatives commend the Scientific and Cultural Facilities District for more than 30 years of connecting the public with the arts, cultural, and scientific experiences. Your steadfast support and mission to ensure unparalleled levels of access for Colorado residents, offering thousands of free and discounted activities each year, is a model of civic leadership and community impact. With the SCFD as their foundation, the organizations providing cultural access in the region are the envy of communities across the nation. With an emphasis on culture for all, SCFD continues to be a shining example of how the things that unite us are far greater than those that divide us. On request of Representatives Alec Garnett and Yadira Caraveo, given this 5th day of February 2019, State Capitol in Denver.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, members. Please be seated. This is a great opportunity for us to recognize SCFD. You know, for 30 years, the district has expanded access to art, culture, and scientific experiences in the 7-county Denver metro area. And if you wonder about access, you only need to be reminded that annually, nearly 6 million people benefit from the free days at organizations funded by the district, which is an opportunity that simply wouldn't exist without the SCFD. Voters established the district in 1988 and have 3 additional times voted to keep the district going, a true statement to the value of the district and the value that it provides for our communities and to all of our individual lives. I want to give just a shout out to the Molly Brown House Museum, which is in House District 2. It's a museum that my kids and my parents, their grandparents, have enjoyed together, and it's just one small example of an institution that has been benefited from SCFD and from the small impact on one family's experience. So with that, I just want to thank the members from SCFD who are here today. And without applause yet, I want to turn it over to Representative Caraveo.
Representative Caraveo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Majority Leader Garnett. It is my pleasure to rise with you today to pay tribute to the contribution of the SCFD. And how often do we get to see a polar bear say the Pledge of Allegiance? So. In Adams County, we have 21 organizations supported by the district, including the Bird Conservancy of the Rockies, which if you haven't visited, you absolutely should. While the value of this district to enriching our lives can't be overstated, it's also important to remember the district's impact on education and the economy. Annually, 4.3 million children have experiences provided by the district. Now, this is obviously something that our schools couldn't do on their own. In terms of the economy, the district is foundational. With a yearly economic impact of $573 million, a job creation of 11,820 jobs, and nearly $400 million in cultural tourism, it is clear that these organizations contribute to the health and vitality of our state. I'd like to make sure I also recognize Young Voices of Colorado, the SCFD-funded organization who gave a beautiful rendition of the national anthem to open this morning. I'd also like to thank our young performer, Eleanor Coates, for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance this morning. Please join us downstairs following floor work. Governor Polis will be reading a proclamation, and Cleo Parker Robinson Dance and the St. Martin's Chamber Choir will perform. Additionally, we have interactive exhibits from other SCFD-funded organizations like HawkQuest and Swallow Hill Music.
So members, if we could all give the members of the FCFD who have joined us on the floor today a round of applause. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Majority Leader Garnett, Representative Caraveo, and SCFD. I have one more announcement. Representative Kipp will replace Representative Michelson Janae on Education Committee today only. And with that, the next order of business is third reading of bills, final passage. Majority Leader Garnett. Sorry.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to lay over House Bill 1028 one day to Wednesday, February 6th.
Seeing no objection, House Bill 1028 will be laid over 1 day as requested by the Majority Leader. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 28.
Senate Bill 28 by Senators Holbert and Bridges, also Representatives McKean and McCluskey, concerning the authority of licensing authorities to continue to issue certain fermented malt beverage retail licenses in rural areas.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 28 on third reading and final passage.
The question before the House is the passage of Senate Bill 28 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Representative Soper and Sullivan. Mr. Randall, please close the machine. With 62 aye votes to excuse and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 28 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1066.
House Bill 1066 by Representatives Bunteo and Kipp, all Senator Foote, concerning counting a student who is enrolled in special education services and the graduation rate in the school year in which the student completes the minimum graduation requirements.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1066 on third reading and final passage.
The question before the House is the passage of House Bill 1066 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Okay, and did you tell Al? Okay, just go tell Al. Okay, thank you. Amendments, I'm fine, but you want to talk to Al? Okay, thank you. Mr. Randall, please close the machine. With 62 aye votes, 2 excused, and 1 vacant, House Bill 1066 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1100. Oh, Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to lay over House Bill 1100 1 day till Wednesday, February 6th.
Seeing no objection, House Bill 1100 will be laid over 1 day as requested by the Majority Leader. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 58.
Senate Bill 58 by Senator Lee, also Representative Herod, concerning the enactment of the Colorado Revised Statutes 2018 as the positive and statutory law of the state of Colorado.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 58 on third reading and final passage.
The question before the House is the passage of Senate Bill 58 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Mr. Randall, please close the machine. Oh my gosh. With 57 aye votes, 5 no votes, 2 excused, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 58 is passed. Co-sponsors. Mr. Randall, please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1034.
House Bill 1034 by Representatives Sullivan and Escar, House Senator Danielson, concerning a requirement that common carrier engaged in the transportation of property by railroad have at least 2 crew members aboard the freight train while the freight train is moving.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1034 on third reading and final passage.
The question before the House is the passage of House Bill 1034 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 39 aye votes, 23 no votes, 2 excused, and 1 vacant, House Bill 1034 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to lay over House Bill 1046 one day until Wednesday, February 6th.
Seeing no objection, House Bill 1046 will be laid over one day at request of the Majority Leader. Okay. Representative Arndt. You've heard the motion. I forgot what I say. Seeing no objection, Representative Arndt will take the chair.
The committee will come to order. With your unanimous consent, the bills will be read by title unless there is a request for a bill to be read at length. Committee amendments will not be read unless requested, as they are printed and in your bill folders. Floor amendments will be shown on the screen and on your iPads and not read unless requested. Bills will be laid over upon motion of the Majority Leader, and the coat rule is relaxed. Are we ready, Ms. Randall? Okay. Mr. Randall, please read Senate Bill, what? 45.
Senate Bill 45 by Senator Moreno, also Representative Hooten, concerning clarifying the members of the Radiation Advisory Committee are reimbursed for expenses incurred for authorized business for the committee.
Representative Hooten.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, this is a statutory revision committee bill, and in a nutshell, in statute, there is a reference to the radiation.
Pardon me, could you please move the bill?
Oh, thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 45.
Please proceed.
Thank you, members. A statutory revision committee bill that makes reference to the Radiation Advisory Committee. And in the statute, it refers to the committee as a committee and the board. And so what this bill does is replace board with committee. The committee is not a board, it is a committee. I ask for an aye vote.
Thank you. The motion before us is the passage of Senate Bill 45. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes have it. Senate Bill 45 is passed. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill. Oh, Mr. Assistant Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to lay over House Bill 1108 one day.
Okay. Mr. Randall, please read. Pardon me. Oh, okay. Pardon me. The House Bill 1108 will be laid over for one day. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1033.
House Bill 1033, Representatives Tipper and Kennedy, also Senators Fields and Priola, concerning a local government's authority to regulate products containing nicotine.
Representative Tipper.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move House Bill 1033 to the Health and Insurance Committee report.
To the committee report.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're good.
I'm good. All right. The committee report essentially included some changes that we had worked out with stakeholders, so I asked for a favorable vote on the committee report.
Is there further discussion on the committee report? Seeing none, the committee report is adopted. To the bill. Representative Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, the reason we're bringing this bill forward is because of the teen vaping epidemic we have in Colorado right now. Data shows that 26% of high school students in Colorado use e-cigarettes. That is the highest rate in the nation. And we know that this is a health issue in and of itself, but it also makes students 6 times more likely to start smoking actual cigarettes at some point in their lives, which we know is a major health crisis in America. Nearly 60% of youth in Colorado say e-cigarettes are easy to get. The Healthy Kids survey shows that nearly half of these kids can get them themselves from a retailer, in addition to the kids that are able to get these from a social setting. That's why it is so important that we pass this bill that removes cigarettes' privileged status in Colorado state law, which is penalizing local governments who attempt to license tobacco retailers.
Representative Tipper.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This bill really does 2 things. It removes that privileged status, 1, and number 2, it treats all local governments equally, so it restores full local control, treats counties, statutory cities, and home rule cities the same so that they're empowered with the tools that they need to actually combat vaping and just teen tobacco use. With that, I ask for a favorable vote on this bill.
Is there additional discussion on House Bill 1033? Seeing Representative Beckman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm opposing this bill for 3 reasons. First, because of the testimony of the premium cigar business owners that came to our committee. They are very concerned with what they feel is death by a million cuts. They shared their concerns about the complexity of our tax system, the additional burdensome regulations that this bill would add, and the increased taxes on a business that is already taxed heavily. If you didn't know, the tax on all premium cigars is 40% of manufacturer's selling price. Being a viable business, especially in this environment where a lot of people are purchasing their cigars on the internet, is very concerning. They're concerned that this would only make their ability to make a living and keep their business viable. Really rang true to me, being from growing up in a small business. They touched my heart, and I think we ought to remember the small businesses of Colorado and what excessive regulations do. The second reason I'm not supporting this bill is because it doesn't simplify our tax system. In fact, it complicates our tax system. It allows a county to impose regulations on cigarette, tobaccos, and cigar products that are more stringent than statewide regulations. And third, cigarette taxes are highly regressive. For example, a $5 tax on a carton of cigarettes means nothing to somebody who makes $200,000 a year. But for someone making $30,000 a year, this could make a difference about buying school supplies for their children or purchasing food. So I'd ask you to vote no on House Bill 1033.
Mr. Minority Leader Neville.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, I urge a strong no vote on this bill. I'm just thinking back of the days where I was actually in Iraq and we sent soldiers home, and these soldiers actually made it home just in time for the birth of their kids. Some of these soldiers were younger than 21 years of age. Under this bill, we would make it easier for local governments to not allow that same soldier to go purchase a cigar to celebrate the birth of their child. Meanwhile, they were overseas serving our country. This is not local control. Local control is letting those individuals make a decision. Those are adults. We shouldn't be empowering local governments to have more control over our citizens.
Representative Soper.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You know, I'm actually slightly conflicted by this bill, and I've found that my time here, bills don't necessarily get easier, they probably get harder, but then again, that's why we were elected to be here. While the local control element is really important, it's very important to my counties, to Delta and Mesa counties, and the commissioners have expressed an endorsement of that aspect. What I don't like about this bill, and I think it's one that we should definitely pause to reflect on, every single county could have a different age in which you could buy tobacco products. So if I'm in Delta County, it could be 18. If I drive to Mesa County, it could be 19. If I then drive to Garfield County, it could be 20, and maybe in Pitkin County, it's 21. So what that creates is a patchwork of regulations to the consumer. And I think that that's the one element of this bill that I really have trouble with. The point of view of the consumer is that it should be uniform. It's one thing if you expect a pack of smokes or different nicotine products to be different prices in different parts of the state. I mean, we expect that. We see that with gasoline. We see that the price for a gallon of gasoline fluctuates between one town to another town or one county to another county. But the price is not the same as the age. It's not like if I go from one county to another county to buy gasoline, if I can buy it at 18, I have to be 20 in another county. And from the point of view of the consumer, it really confuses the issue. And that's why I'm going to be a no vote on this bill. But I do think that it does come close to the local control element, and I do appreciate that regards. But I think we really do need to look at the consumer and having some sort of uniformity across the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Catlin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's a pleasure to serve with you.
It's a pleasure to serve with you.
Thank you. I think you all know that I'm a local control guy. I think that it's done better at home than it is from here. But in this instance, it seems to me that we're going to throw confusion into a lot of different places. It's not necessarily about the cigarettes or whether or not they raise the tax on them or those kind of things. It seems to me that the state of Colorado should do a better job of this on its own. Maybe a standardized system would work better. I don't think kids in one county are more inclined to smoke than there are in other counties. This seems to be a little bit more of us trying to say to children, hey, you're still children. When you're 18 years old, you're old enough to do what a man needs to do. You can serve your country. You can do the things that we ask of citizens. To simply ban cigarettes because of your age seems to me to be an overreach. I would encourage you to vote no on this one. There are better ways to do this, and I think the state of Colorado should find that. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there further discussion on House Bill 1033? Representative Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, we ask for an aye vote.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1033. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Oh, the ayes have it. House Bill 1033 is passed. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1063.
House Bill 1063, Representatives Kraft-Tharp and Larson, all Senators Gardner and Lee, considering the ability to share information between county adult protective services with county child protective services, as well as at-risk adults obtaining their own information.
Representative Kraft-Tharp.
Thank you. I move House Bill 1063. There is no committee report.
To the bill.
Thank you. So this is a bill that does two distinct things. One is if someone is transitioning from child protective services to adult protective services, it allows the county worker to be able to look at the file. Number two, it allows an adult to be able to access their own file without having to go through a court order.
This bill was...
Representative Larson.
My apologies, Madam Chair. Thank you.
That's
This bill is the result of several stakeholder meetings, and essentially what this does is align current practice with the law. In many cases, in smaller counties, adult and child protective service workers are the same individual. This simply allows them to share information that, by their very nature, they already know. So with that, it is a very narrow bill. It is the result of several meetings with stakeholders, and has a broad coalition of support, including the Cross Disability Coalition. And with that, I ask for your support on this bill.
Is there further discussion on House Bill 1063? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1063. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. House Bill 1063 is passed. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1109. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to lay over House Bill 1109 until Tuesday, February 12th.
Are there objections to the layover of House Bill 1109? Seeing none, House Bill 1109 is laid over. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
I've heard the motion, and the committee will rise and report.
The House will come back to order. Mr. Randall, please read the report of the Committee of the Whole.
Madam Speaker, your committee will big sleep report of Senators Trace following touch bills being the second reading of thereof expiring regulations thereon. House Bill 1033 is amended. House Bill 1063 passed on second reading or engrossed. Placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. Senate Bill 45 passed second or rise. Placed on the third reading and final passage. House Bill 1108 laid over until February 6, 2019. Retaining its place on the calendar. House Bill 1109 laid over until February 12, 2019. Retaining its place on the calendar.
Representative Arndt. I move the House adopt the
Committee of the Whole report. I move that the House adopt the Committee of the Whole report.
You have heard the motion. There are no amendments. The question before the House is the adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Geithner, Hootner, Soper, Valdez, D. Hooper? Hooten. Please close the machine. With 52 aye votes, oh my gosh, 54 aye votes, 8 no votes, 2 excused, and 1 vacant, the report of the committee of the whole is passed. Announcements and introductions. Representative Kraftharp.
Thank you. Business Affairs and Labor Committee will have 2 bills this morning, House Bill 1098 and House Bill 1106. Upon the request of our Vice Chair, Representative Coleman, we will be meeting at 10 o'clock. Thank you.
Any other announcements and introductions? Representative Melton.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And members, along with the March and Dimes, we have a few members of Sigma Gamma Rho here today in the chamber with us. Sigma Gamma Rho was founded in 1922, and on behalf of the Divine Nine, Omega Psi Phi, as well as my colleague in AKA and Kappa Alpha Psi, we'd like to welcome you to the House floor.
Welcome. Representative Melton, that's $1. One. Any other announcements and introductions? Reports of committees of reference.
Committee on Finance, Subject to the merits, following House Bill 1089 be postponed indefinitely. Committee on Rural Affairs and Agriculture, Subject to the merits, following House Bill 1091 be postponed indefinitely. House Bill 1113 be made as follows and asked to be for the committee whole. Favorable recommendation.
Printing report.
Chief Clerk
Printing
reports.
report will be printed in the Journal. Majority Leader Garnett. Yes. Any other announcements? Did you have an announcement? Representative Buentello.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Girl Scout cookies are out. The lovely Miss Jennifer Price is selling them, but more importantly than that, I just want everybody to know, don't forget to support your local Girl Scout troop. Buy the cookies, indulge yourself, you deserve it. Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Representative. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House stand in recess until later today.
Yes. Seeing no objection, the House will be in recess till later today.